Hello and welcome to episode 18 of the Ganja Geezer. It's been a while since I posted, and there's a reason for that. The reason is I've decided I'm retired, but I've decided to look for a job. I want to keep busy. I want to do something. So I'm in the enviable position to want to work versus having to work. But that being said, it added a new my medical marijuana situation added a new wrinkle to my job search situation. Some of you older viewers may remember that you could actually go walk in and hand out a resume and talk to somebody and get an interview, and if they liked you, they'd hire you, they'd shake your hand, and you might have a 90-day probationary period, but that was it. You could actually work there. But now you're guilty until proven innocent, so therefore you have to prove that you're not consuming any sort of illicit substances such as cannabis. So I am now faced with the idea that I have to run the risk of testing positive for a marijuana test. Drug screening, random pat-downs, sobriety checkpoints, and what else do we have? Speed cameras in our traffic. Those are the many of the cuts that are killing our society today, in my opinion. Our freedoms are diminishing by the day. Oh well, I'm going to get past that rant. What's an old fart like me to do? Here I am, I'm 50 years old, using cannabis for medication. So, first thing I did is went to the internet to find out what you need to do. How long does it take for cannabis to get out of your system? Is there a way to circumvent it? What are the things you can do? Looked up all the circumvention ideas, like taking aspirin, diluting your pee. There's all the different herbal remedies or whatever there are out there that some of the head shops sell, and they all just kind of seemed like, no, I'm not going to risk my situation on that. So I decided to do it the old-fashioned way. I decided to stop taking my medication and clean up, as it were. I already knew THC and the THC metabolites could be detected in urine up to 30 days after you consume, so that was for heavy users. I know I'm a moderate user several times a week. So I'm figuring it probably between 2 weeks and a month to clean up. So after I stopped taking my meds, I thought it was easier to stop than I thought it would be after about 6 months of my consumption. There are really no issues. I mean, we know it's a scientific fact there are no physical withdrawal symptoms for cannabis, but I expected some sort of problem. But I had no problem sleeping. I was no more irritable than my usual irritable self, so nothing really manifested itself until about a week later. And guess what that was? That was pain. The pain came back with a vengeance. My back felt like it did before I started using cannabis for the relief. About 3 days after that, the leg pain got worse and everything, and I had my first migraine in 6 months. I had the last migraine right around June before I started taking cannabis. So, gee, what a great thing. In order to get employed in this country under most jobs, you have to go off your medication that helps you. Very frustrating. This has angered me that I have to go through this process to become a viable candidate for employment. This got me thinking about how vulnerable we are, even in states where we're lucky, like Colorado and Washington, where it is now theoretically legal to consume cannabis. We're still very vulnerable. Yes, you get stopped by a policeman, you got a bag of weed on your car seat, which you probably shouldn't have, but let's say you do. Theoretically, they would send you on your way. But, we now, as I'm finding out, and as many of you probably already know, you're limited in your job searches. You're at risk at your job every single day you're there if they decide to randomly drug test you. Also, if you rent a place such as I do, even with a red card, the medical marijuana card, or in Colorado where it's legal, you're still prone to eviction. So there's still a long way to go in this process. Okay, I'm ranting again. Let's get back to what I had to do. After a week, I was frustrated. I've been testing this week, the back pain's back, and I really don't know where I stand. I'm just, it's been a week. Am I clean? Am I not? I have no idea. So I started to Google around, and I found, I knew that they had home drug tests, mostly for parents to test their kids. But found out Walgreens had them for about $8 a piece. That was a little pricey, and being the cheap bastard that I am, I checked out on Amazon and found a set of kits that were 10 for $8, and that really, hit me in my parsimonious pocket. I really liked that a lot, so decided to order those. Had a couple other things to order Amazon. Got the $25 free shipping deal, and so in about 4 or 5 days, they shipped me a packet of 10 of these. Oh, is this going to focus in on my new camera? Is it being cranky? Whatever, you can see it. What I like here is they came in little individual packs. One-step drug of abuse. I like that. Abuse urine test. So, it came in 10 packs like this, and it wasn't wide like this. This one's like for a 5 test for like cocaine, amphetamines, etc., and opiates. This one was just a single banger for cannabis. So, got those. And exactly 2 weeks after I'd stopped consuming medication, I decided to do the test, did the dip, waited about 5 minutes, and boom, I am negative. The post up there over my left shoulder is the results I got. 2 stripes, the control and test stripe indicates negative according to the test. A single stripe on control indicates a positive test, and any other sort of combination, no stripes or just a test stripe, is an invalid test. So, great, I'm negative according to this. Now, according to this test, and from what I've read, most urinalysis tests test for less than 50 nanograms of THC metabolite in your urine per milliliter. So that means I'm testing at lower than 50 nanograms per mil. Okay, but any of you out there versed in the scientific method might be saying, well, geezer, you've only got a test. How do you know this thing's valid? You've only tested once. So I happen to have someone I know who partakes in the same cannabis type substances I do, and he had taken it 3 days prior. He's about the same consumption rate than I am. And I handed him a test, and he went and gave it a test and shot me an MMS pic of his results. And those results showed up over here. And lo and behold, the control stripe showed up, and the test stripe was blank, which is the indicative of a very positive test. So to me, this is very encouraging that these strips are actually pretty useful. Right? So I've got these tests. I've got 2 tests. Granted, it's not, conclusive tests that I'm negative, but I feel fairly encouraged after 2 weeks that I am now acceptable for the job market in our society. And that's, I guess, good news. I'm also interested in hearing your take on this. Anybody out there that has had to go through this, we all have to, most of us have to work for a living. And if you want to use this as medication or even recreationally, I am not alone in the fact that this is a problem. I'm interested to hear your stories and your takes on this situation. Many people out there, everybody has to work, most people, and have had to encounter this situation. How have you dealt with a drug test? Do you try to circumvent it? Do you try to use artificial urine? Do you bring a friend's urine? I don't think I could ever do that. Do you just wait it out like I did, clean up before you go and do a job interview? I'd be interested to hear your takes. Either leave a comment down below, or send me an email at ganjageezer@gmail.com, or even now, send me a video response, and I'd put that on my channel. I'd like to hear what other people's takes are, and videos, and see who's actually listening to this channel. As always, if you found this channel useful, please click the like button down below, or better yet, subscribe. And that's it for now. And for everyone out there, except me, for the moment, goodbye and stay medicated.